Hi, Tom here. Welcome to today's video. Aries. The last few weeks have shifted how you move through life. You slowed down when it didn't come naturally. You chose direction instead of impulse. You stepped into leadership with more awareness. This week is different. This week isn't about starting something new. It's about learning how to stay steady inside the momentum you've already created. From a Vedic perspective, the energy now moves into embodiment, where action no longer comes from adrenaline, but from alignment. And for you, this phase is essential because you're built to initiate, but not always taught how to sustain. You may notice that your drive feels quieter this week. Not weaker, and definitely not gone. Just less urgent. That can feel uncomfortable for you. When you're used to intensity, calm can feel like stagnation. But that isn't stagnation. This is regulated energy. Aries. Your fire is powerful. It gets things moving. It breaks inertia. It brings courage where fear once lived. But this week teaches you something truly important. Fire that burns consistently consumes itself. Fire that's tended becomes a hearth. It keeps you warm for a long time. You may feel less inclined to rush ahead, less reactive, less driven to prove something through action. That doesn't mean you've lost motivation. It means motivation has stopped needing pressure to exist. So here's the deeper lesson this week. You don't need resistance to feel alive. You don't need conflict to feel more powerful. And you don't need urgency to stay engaged with your life. Power now comes from consistency, not intensity. You may notice moments where you instinctively want to accelerate, to do more, take on extra, and to push the pace just because you can. Pause. Ask yourself, is this necessary or is it familiar? That pause is integration. This week supports pacing. Not slowing down, but choosing a speed you can maintain without exhaustion. You're learning that forward motion doesn't disappear when you rest. It actually becomes clearer. There's also an identity shift unfolding this week. You may realize that you no longer need to fight your way forward. The path you're on doesn't require constant effort to stay open. That realization can feel unfamiliar, even vulnerable. But it's real. You may also notice fewer emotional spikes, less frustration, less agitation. Not because life is dull, but because your nervous system isn't running on overdrive anymore. And that's embodiment. That's strength settling in to your body. This week isn't asking you to dim your fire. It's asking you to contain it. Contained fire is reliable. It doesn't burn you. It serves you. Now, let's talk alignment. One intentional practice for you this week. Do one thing at 80% instead of 100. Finish it. Leave space. Notice how it feels. You'll likely discover that nothing falls apart, and you feel better afterward. That's the lesson. As you allow this steadier rhythm, notice what emerges. More focus, more patience, a sense of control without force. That's your energy maturing. Aries. This week isn't about conquering anything. It's about learning how to live inside your power without exhausting yourself. You don't need to push to stay strong. You're already moving. Now you let it last. And you need to trust that. Before you go, there's something important you should know. These horoscopes are based on Vedic astrology, also known as sidereal astrology. That means we're using the actual positions of the stars in the sky, not the tropical system used in most Western astrology. Because of that, your sun signs here may be different than what you're used to. And that's okay. In Vedic astrology, we don't start with the sun sign. We start with the moon sign, because the moon represents your mind, emotions, and how life is experienced day to day. First, always watch this for your Vedic moon sign. That's where this horoscope will feel the most accurate and personal. Next, I recommend watching for your rising sign, also called your ascendant or lagna. Your rising sign shows how these energies show up in your physical life, your body, your environment, and the situations unfolding around you. Then, you can also watch for your sun sign, which adds insight into your identity, confidence, and sense of purpose during this time. And if love, relationships, creativity, or money are major themes for you right now, I also recommend checking your Venus sign, called Shukra in Vedic astrology, for an extra layer of clarity. For weeks where things feel intense, faded, or life-shifting, it can also be helpful to look at your lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu. These show where growth is pulling you forward, and where old patterns are asking to be released. To find your correct placements, make sure you're using a Vedic or sidereal natal chart, not a tropical one. Once you know your moon, rising, sun, and Venus signs, and optionally Rahu and Ketu, you'll get a much deeper and more complete understanding of what's unfolding. If this message resonated with you, please like the video. It truly helps support this channel and allows these messages to reach the people who actually need them. And if you're enjoying these weekly Vedic horoscopes, consider subscribing so you don't miss future messages for your signs. You are not one sign. You are a system of energies, learning how to work together. Take care and be calm.